Welcome, everyone, to the AI World Podcast, where technology, world news, and a little bit of humor all come together. Today, we're discussing one of the biggest global stories right now, the escalating conflict involving Iran, the United States, and Israel. Airstrikes, missile attacks, oil disruptions, and global political tension. This situation has the entire world watching. And joining us today is a very special guest, a former American president known for his strong opinions and very confident predictions. Mr. President, welcome to the podcast. Well, thank you. Great to be here. Fantastic podcast, by the way. People are already telling me this could become the greatest podcast in history, maybe even bigger than television, who knows? But let's talk about Iran, because it's a big situation. Very serious, very complicated. And right now, the world is watching very closely. Mr. President, the news has been moving very quickly. Reports say the United States and Israel launched large strikes on Iranian military and nuclear sites earlier this year, and Iran responded with missile and drone attacks across the region. We're also hearing about tensions in the Strait of Hormuz, which is one of the most important oil shipping routes in the world. So, the big question everyone is asking is simple. Is this becoming a wider regional war? Look, I'll tell you something. The Middle East has always been a complicated place. Very complicated. You have different countries, different alliances, and everyone is watching their own interests. We're seeing attacks, missile launches, and a lot of military movement. There are reports that Iranian forces and their allies have launched strikes on U.S. bases and countries in the region, while the United States and Israel have targeted military infrastructure inside Iran. And of course, the Strait of Hormuz, that's a big deal. If that shipping lane gets blocked, oil prices could skyrocket around the world. Exactly. Recent reports say tensions increased even further after Iranian drones struck targets near Dubai, injuring several people and disrupting flights. At the same time, U.S. forces reportedly destroyed Iranian naval vessels that were suspected of preparing to lay sea mines in the Strait of Hormuz. And analysts say if that narrow waterway is closed, nearly 20% of the world's oil supply moving through the region could be affected. That's why global markets are extremely nervous right now. Oil markets get nervous very quickly. You see oil prices jump, markets move, and suddenly the entire global economy feels the pressure. But here's the thing. Sometimes conflicts escalate very quickly, and sometimes they cool down just as fast. Many countries in the region are trying to avoid a full-scale war. Even groups aligned with Iran have been cautious about expanding the conflict too far. So right now, the world is watching to see whether this stays a limited conflict or becomes something much bigger. Rumors and speculation. And of course, there are also many rumors circulating online. Some people are saying this conflict could turn into a global war, while others believe diplomatic talks could eventually calm the situation. There are even conspiracy theories spreading across social media claiming secret negotiations or hidden military plans. But experts say predicting the next step in this conflict is extremely difficult, because so many countries are involved indirectly. Well, look, the most important thing is stability. Nobody wants to see a major war. The best outcome would be negotiations, diplomacy, and some kind of agreement that lowers tensions. Because when conflicts grow in the Middle East, it doesn't just affect one country, it affects the entire world. Energy prices, global trade, security, everything. And that's where we'll leave today's discussion. The situation is still evolving, and the world will be watching very closely in the coming days and weeks. Thank you for listening to the AI World Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe for more AI-generated discussions about global news, technology,